Hello, welcome back to Counseling Made Simple with Helen Francis. Happy New Year, because this is my first video for this year, and I want to congratulate us as we successfully cross over to 2021. If you're watching me for the first time, you can check on my YouTube and you'll be seeing some video that I have uploaded, and also on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. And if you want to know more of my video, you want to see more of my video, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll be able to see more of my video that I'll be uploading later in the future. This is a platform where I discuss topic and scenario, and at the end I give coping strategy so that when we go through things in life, we'll be able to use some of those coping strategy that I put there, particularly if you're going through issue that is similar to the topic. So today I have a topic titled letting go of our adult children. This is transitioning into adulthood healthily without having conflicts, without having issue or too much disagreement when our adult children are coming up to us to tell us that they have to move on. Yes, I'm going to discuss this. In this video, somebody told me that she's going through issue with letting go of her adult children, although I have the privilege to work with parents, elderly parents. I've seen them, I've worked with them, and I've noticed some similar things like that in the past. But when this particular person was talking about her experience, then I said, okay, let me put it in video. There might be other people going through the same issue. When I have my experience with some elderly people, parents, discover that sometimes we have to prompt their children, their adult children, to bring some things to them, maybe personal things. We have to prompt them. And also in terms of visiting, also you see that there's a question mark. You're wondering that why they're not coming to visit as the way they should be coming. Although we live in a world that everybody is busy, but there's always a question mark sometimes, which I've noticed. And also maybe when we are preparing them to be discharged home, we realize that sometimes there could be a struggle, like something like we can't cope with mom or we can't cope with dad, they can't come. So that I've had a bit of experience, and I've questioned if there is that relationship, maybe those gaps that I've noticed, maybe it will not be there. So talking about this topic, I went looking a bit deep just to see little things, just to be sure what I thought it is, just to be sure that that is, at least there's a bit of evidence to back it up. In one of my studies, I realized that the bond between children, which I've known before, that there's a bond, there's bond between children and parents, or particularly children and mother. So the study said that bond can last up to 30 years and above, meaning that that your baby that you of yesterday, the bond that you have with your baby and the attachment can last up to 30 years, that sometimes when they come up with their choices, you still want to exercise your control over them. You want to tell them, no, you can't make that choice, no, you can't choose that, no, you can't study that. So the control is still there, and this can end up becoming conflict between adult children and their aged parents. So this is one of the study that I found out. So what happened is, when our children begin to grow, we also have to prepare for the changes that will come as they grow. And I'm talking to myself as well. I have my children I can say they are adult because none of them is 18 or below 18. So I can say they too, they are adults. So when they are growing up, we have to start preparing also, because they are moving into a new phase of their life, and also that will also affect us, because also we have to move with them. So, and this period, they want their independence. They want to be independent. They want autonomy, and they want their freedom. Although they might not understand fully what comes with freedom, they might not know that freedom is very expensive. They might not know that freedom has a price tag. They might not know that freedom can make them to be more vulnerable, and they can be exposed to choices of life that they will take. And if they are not taking it wisely, something can happen. So all this we have to know, and we have to begin to educate our children as they are growing up. But one of the facts that I discover is that when we are not prepared, when we are not aware, when we're not prepared for this phase of life of our children, sometimes it can cut us unaware, and then we will react to it because there will be fear, there will be anxiety, because you are not prepared for it. That suddenly those children that are running around, they are moving on, and what becomes of you? What are you doing with your life? So that can become somehow very challenging. Also, we have some children, they are not fussy, they are not telling you they are moving on in life so as quickly as they should. They are just not taking responsibility at times, and sometimes some of them, maybe they have made some choices in life, they have made mistake in their choice that they've made, and these are struggle in the family. So also those ones, you have to learn how to cope with them, so that there's no too much of anger and too much of issue going on around, to the extent that by the time that they are separating from you, by the time this attachment is going to be like a little bit stretched open, that there will not be a detachment wall between you and the children. That is when we start preparing. So the question now is that how what will you do? How do you detach? How will you prepare yourself to detach from your children without putting a detachment wall, that you and your children are not in that good relationship? What will you do? Because there's something that we call family estrangement. That means you have estranged children and you have estranged parents somewhere. So this family estrangement is what we know as loss of existing relationship between family, both physically they don't come together. This happen among siblings as well. Physically they don't come, emotionally they are not there for themselves, and communication wise there's this distance between them. So what do you do when you get to this stage in life? So I'll move on to talk about coping strategy and what we will do, and I will explain a bit of those issues as I move on. How do we move on successfully with our children, detaching from them without putting a detachment wall between our children? So first of all, we have to try to understand why are we having these difficulties of letting go. What is our fear? What is our worries? Why do we not believe that it's time for them to move on? One thing that I have to let us know is because of the pictures that we have in mind. Sometimes we have pictures and expectation of what we want our children to do or become, which is very good, it's fantastic. The picture of the wife we want them to marry, the husband that we want them to marry, even study what we want them to do, and having time in our mind as well. the time that we feel that they are mature enough to go out. And we have to understand truly that they might be adult in age, or by law, or by because the law says they are mature. But we have to also study and know that if they are really mature to go, that is part of it, which is one of the reasons why we have this anxiety and fear of them not going, because we believe that yes, they might be old, but they are not mature enough. But one coping strategy that I'm going to start with is that we have to let go our children in the hands of God. We have to know, we have to trust God that our children is safe in the hands of God, and He knows more about them than we do. The blueprint of their life is in His hands. So whatever decision they are taking, we have to believe that He will take care of them. So we have, in this period, we have to work hard not to ruin the work that we have done right from when they were young. We have really invested in them morally and financially and physically, emotionally. We have invested in them. We should not allow this period. We should continue to love them in whatever choice that they make in life and maintain the relationship that we have with them. We should also keep the value that we have kept as a great mother that we are. We have to control our anger at this time, because sometimes those choices that they are making might make us to be very, very angry. We must not be too heartbroken to the extent that we lose control and then begin to misinterpret our behavior or our action at that time that we are struggling with letting them go. So for those that are not coming up with moving out of home, they are not taking responsibility. Maybe one of the issue is lack of, maybe the person has no value for money, yet is grown, is working, or she's grown, she's working, but she doesn't know how to keep money. So he keep running out of money and is not taking responsibility, is not pushing himself or herself much to maturity. This time we have to, number one, exercise tough love with them, not hurting them or we are not punishing them. Tough love is by you standing and making them to understand. Savings, it depends on what the area they are struggling with. Anyway, we have to assess their need and not the area that they are struggling with. So the example I'm giving her is somebody who doesn't know the value of money, that cannot save money. Exercise tough love. For example, they run out of money, you don't quickly begin to bail them out easily, because while we're doing that all the time, they will not be able to know the consequences of not knowing how to save money or have value for money. And at the same time, if they are not moving forward and they are not trying to talk about moving forward, we have to begin to have a plan with them, sit them down, assess them, know their struggle, know what they are struggling with, what is their need, what is it that is keeping them. Maybe them themselves, they are going through anxiety and fear of moving forward. So we work with them, we plan with them. The example I gave about money, you sit with that child and begin to plan with them how to save money, how to spend money. Do it for a few times so that the person will know how to begin to know how to plan. And if at this point you've done all that and there's no changes coming up, you have to support them to move forward. Because, for example, you can't have a child living with you forever, like they are not moving forward. You have to support them to move forward. In moving forward is when they will begin to grow. You support them into the opportunity to grow. So support them to move forward. And at the same time, if you have the one that doesn't want to listen, doesn't want to work with you, doesn't want to have plan, and the person want to walk away, because some will say I'm going, And if that happens, instead of just let you getting angry and say, bye bye, let go, I'm letting you go, and that's it. Try not to do that. Make sure you let them know as they are going out, or that child is going out, that your door is always open for advice, for support, and for counseling. In that way, when they go out and make wrong choices, they will still remember that they have parents to come back to for support. To remember, every person or every human being, they have their ego. If this assurance is not being given, sometimes they go out and their ego will not let them come back when they are struggling. And in that process, they can make different choices or options that they think will help them. And those options might be something that will be dangerous or mistake that will affect their life and future. So, but if you let them know that your door is open to support, not to control, but to support and to help, they will have the mind to come back, and that relationship will continue smoothly, and there will not be a detachment war between you and your children or your child. This time as well, I've seen an experience of people that they have moved out, and during this pandemic they've lost their job, and coming back home become an issue, anxiety, depression. uh, you have, at the end, you see them coming to a place where they have to be nursed because there is no good relationship with a family. And then at that moment they are mentally unstable, and they are really distressed. But if they have been like reassurance of your door is open for them to come back at any time for support, that kind of a person will quickly come back home, or quickly have reason to call family for support when they are going to struggle. So I believe you will be able to see one or two points in this coping strategy to help yourself or other people that's going through this kind of challenges at the moment. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch Counseling Made Simple with Helen Francis. I'll be coming your way very soon, and I will be coming with a very special topic, and that is virtual learning, the new normal, distance learning. I'll be discussing about the disadvantage and advantage of this new normal, and what the mothers are facing, the challenges they are facing with their young ones in primary school, and also our teenagers that are in university, the challenges they are facing. And at the end, I'll try to give a coping strategy in what we'll be able to use during this period of our new normal and our virtual learning. And I'll be seeing you again. I will wish you to subscribe so that you'll be able to see the video as soon as I upload it. So I'll be seeing you again. Thank you very much. Bye for now.